welcome to our second drawing session together. And today we are going to learn how to draw a castle. So all you're going to need is that pencil, that eraser, your sheet of paper, and a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you can use a hardbound book, and you can use the spine of the book as a straight line. You can do it freehand, you don't have to use a ruler, but if you have a ruler handy or a hardbound book, you can use that as well. So to begin, you should orient your paper horizontally. So the drawing lesson we did last week, we did it vertically, so this one this week is going to be horizontally, okay? And remember, when you're drawing, to draw as big as you can and take up as much of the page as you can. That way you can add details wherever you like, and you'll have an easier time drawing those small, tight spaces. So to begin, I'm going to take my ruler, and I am going to start my castle. So I'm going to do just a basic two straight lines. These lines are going to be the foundation for the top of your castle. Then you are going to cut that in half, divide that by half, I should say, and you are going to make two little buildings on the side. Two buildings on the side. Okay, you can line up your ruler like such to make sure that this and this is level. So you just would put your ruler here and you would make a straight line, and you would not do it in the middle because that's one building. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ruler, and I am going to level out the top of that center building as such. And then I'm going to make the two lines on the sides to do the sides of the castle on those two smaller buildings. Okay. And it's going to look like that. Next thing you're going to do is you are going to draw little castle ledges. So what that is going to look like is alternating squares on the top, on the rooftops of those buildings that you made. You're going to do this to all three of your buildings. Okay, so try to have a little bit of space in between your ledges. These are where knights or soldiers would peek through on a castle. So I have that there, and then I'm going to do some on the top. I typically like doing a little bit bigger ones on the top. That will give more variation in your drawing. Okay. There we go. Next thing you're going to do is you are going to draw triangles at the tops of your buildings. Okay, these are going to give them better roofs, and I just went ahead and did this freehand for you. You can use your ruler if you want a nice straight line, but I just went ahead and did it freehand. Next thing you can do is draw two lines on the top of the side buildings and do little flags. So your flags can be big triangles, small triangles. They could be wavy, they could be straight, okay? And these are going to be the flags of the castle. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to draw a big castle entrance. So I'm going to do a big upside down U shape in the middle and on the bottom of the middle building. I'll draw a line in between it and two little doorknobs. And that is the entranceway of your castle. The next thing you can do is you can draw windows. So sometimes it's fun to do a lookout window, a nice big circle at the top, because sometimes people hide at the top, like the king or the queen. And you can make your window have window panes. You can also have it have curtains, however you want. So I went ahead and did a cross and made some curtains for my window. And next I'm going to do some smaller windows in the building. So I like to do long rectangles, vertical long rectangles as my castle windows, like such. Castle is very big and it usually has really big windows too. But now I'm going to do little ledges, little window sills to give it more of a three-dimensional look. And I'm going to add some smaller vertical windows on my two side buildings. You can see that mine aren't all the same, but some of my windows are bigger than the other, some are straighter than the other, and that's perfectly okay because we're just drawing for fun. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to draw the entranceway. So you can either do a paved road, you could do a drawbridge, you could just do a garden, a grass entryway, whatever you like. So, what should I do? I think I am going to do a bottom line there at the bottom to show where my castle would hit the ground. Okay, so the foundation of it. Then I did something interesting here. Instead of doing two straight lines, I did more of diagonal lines, and that's going to give it more of that rounded feel instead of flat. Okay, so more like how it would be in real life. So then I'm going to go ahead and do a drawbridge. So a drawbridge from the frontward angle might be a little hard. So why don't you go ahead and do two circles, probably a little bit above your door, and draw two diagonal lines that are parallel to each other, and they go to the side like that. Then you can do another line, and that can maybe be the start of your drawbridge. And then you can go ahead and extend the lines even more for your drawbridge. Okay, so what would a drawbridge look like? It would have wood planks. So I'm going to make four different sections in my drawbridge plank. Then the next line, I'm going to make lines in the middle of those original lines. This is going to give the alternating look and make it either look like bricks or wood planks. You'll see as you do this that the lines may not be the same. They might not line up perfectly, but as long as you're dividing your wood planks or your bricks, whatever you decide that your drawbridge or road is made out of, you're separating it with some lines. Okay? And that's what that looks like. Okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do some awnings. So an awning is a covering above a doorway. So we still need some doors on the sides of the castle. So I would make some smaller doors on the sides of the castle. You can do this rounded like you did in the middle, or you can do them more like rectangles or squares. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line down the middle and two knobs. Doors were a lot different back then. They typically were bigger and higher, and there's two doors instead of one. So I went ahead and did that, and then for my awnings, I'm going to do a nice little curve on top, a nice little curve on top. You can add ruffles on the bottom of your half circles and make it look more like an awning. The next thing I suggest doing is drawing a line in the background of the drawing, or the background of the house. This will make it look like it's on a piece of property, and you can add more details here however you like. So I could make a sun, I could make a tree here, okay? So I can make a tree, I can make a sun, I can make a garden down here, okay? I could draw people, whatever you like. You can decide if you want to add those window panes in your windows, and then you can begin to color your castle. And remember, if you're adding some details, you're probably going to have to erase some lines of things that you go over. So if something is in front of something, it doesn't have the original drawing or the original lines through it anymore. So you're going to have to erase that, and that shows that the bush is in front of the building or anything is in front of something else. Okay, so do some bushes. I could do some gardening right here. Okay, and there you have it. You have your completed castle with a drawbridge.